Well, ladies and gentlemen, so welcome to our Planets Through Ascendant series. And I know I should have made this last week, but it's just that I was preparing for, like their Stuckburger video and all that. And my God, please stop running panic. Stop running panic. I can't take the emails. You guys have sent me, I would say probably by now, over 600-700 plus emails on people running panic on their Stuckburger score. And this is why I gave a 10-minute warning. Literally, I was speaking for like 10 minutes before I started the video. Like, look, you haven't seen all the parts. You haven't seen everything. Make sure you follow the steps that I'm saying. Don't jump to a Stuckburger. A Stuckburger scores really is like, if you're just doing it by itself, doesn't mean anything. And I can prove it to you. I showed you with Bill Gates' chart. How he has such low scores in his 11th house of gains and money. Richest person in the world. Why? Because you're not, again, you didn't listen and you haven't watched the part 2, part 3. Please stop running panic. It's nothing, okay? Just like you guys running panic and if a planet is exalted or debilitated, same thing, okay? So anyway, planets through ascendant. And today we're going to be covering Sun in the 5th house for Capricorn ascendant people. And what happened when Sun is in the 5th house in the sign of Taurus and rules the 8th house with the sign of Leo, and the ascendant is Capricorn. Okay, and as always, if you do not know, if you have this placement, what other placements you have, what planetary nakshatras you have, all those details, for that check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including my consultations at this link. So, let's get started with the planets through ascendant with Sun in the 5th house in Taurus. So, what is the 5th house? First of all, 5th house represents children, education, arts, media, creativity, performing arts, cinema. Because 3rd house represents television, 5th house represents cinema. 5th house represents speculative gains, sports betting, stock market, politics. It represents counseling. And if you go watch my Understanding the 5th house video, you'll get even like 20 more meanings of the 5th house. And then you have the 8th lord in this house. So 8th house represents death, rebirth, transformation, changes, occult, mysticism, sorcery, hidden knowledge, secrecy, conspiracies, insurance, inheritance, wills and states, joint assets, graveyards. Is it scary enough? Dead bodies. So what does this mean when you have 8th lord in the 5th house, especially the sun? And sun represents the soul, the journey of the soul in this life, how the soul is going to develop its karmic pattern. So let's say if your karmic pattern is to be super rich, like Bill Gates, but your karmic pattern with the sun shows that you're going to struggle first and then you're going to gain. Or your sun can show you're just going to have an easy way, like you'll be born into a royal family. That's what, sun represents. Sun also represents father, authorities, government, fame, vitality, health. It also represents Jyotish as an astrology, because it is the light of God, and light, the very first light, or the only light that we really know, is of the sun. So when you have this in the 5th house, first of all, shows me that a person is always interested in occult, mysticism, hidden knowledge, sorcery, archaeology, paleontology, I'm forgetting this word. Oh my God. It was my favorite subject in college. Anthropology. It's morning. I've had coffee too, so it's anthropology. So these are the subjects that a person will be attracted to, and they will always like to study things that are buried underground. Whether it's gemology, health, surgeries, dead bodies, paleontology. Like if you look at paleontology, it's the study of digging up dinosaurs. What are you doing? You're digging up dinosaurs' bones, which is a dead body. Okay? It's nothing but calcium. This also shows that a person is always interested in having only few children, like 1 or 2. They don't want to deal with too many children. Also, your children will follow in footsteps of studying something related to research, science. Sun actually in the 5th house can make person very good at mathematics, especially if it's in a good position. The other thing that we see, that regardless if you're a man or woman, you are going to have affairs. Secret hidden affairs, to a point where you will not even admit to an astrologer that you had an affair. Because it's the 8th house sitting in the 5th house. Like, when I do my nakshatra reading, okay, I see a whole lot of things. I see everything. Sometimes I don't even mention it, depending upon the age and the culture that the person is coming through. But you see a whole lot of things, negative things, positive things. But one thing I see, especially with this position, is that a person always have had some secret affair, whether it's late in life, middle of life, early in life. They could attract a third-party spouse, or a third-party spouse can seduce them. They may elope with somebody, and they will most definitely. This is a beautiful yoga, especially depending upon certain degrees. This is a beautiful yoga of a person to win lottery. Lottery winning can happen, especially if Saturn is not in the 12th house. If Saturn is in the 12th house, then it might become a little difficult. But if Saturn is not in the 12th house, most definitely you will win something in your life. Whether even if it's like a $100 lottery, or you win $500 in a slot machine, it will happen. Especially if you have a long enough life, it'll happen. And yes, a person gets a good enough life. Why? Because 8th Lord is now 10th from itself. Becomes a powerful position. But remember, 10th, whenever a house lord is 10th from itself, you've got some karma to deal with. Not karma, some actions that you're going to have to perform related to that particular house. So 8th Lord being in the 5th house most definitely shows that a person is here to exhaust karmas related to the 8th house that they're greatly interested in ancient knowledge, occult, mysticism. And their work will require research. Their work will require dealing with hidden things, hidden knowledge. I mean, you can even see art insurance agent. I've actually come up with people who are in insurance. I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay. But then they're like, no, I'm in art insurance, meaning they work for like dealers in Europe. Like, let's say you have Mona Lisa painting. That painting is worth probably $1 billion. Okay. If that gets stolen, the insurance has to kick in. Somebody who owns it, they're insured. There's art dealer or insurance agent. They make crazy money, but there are very few of them. So, but you get that because 5th house is creativity. You're dealing with the insurance of creativity and art. This also shows that, like in classics, they say that a person is attracted to, like a man would be attracted to lower class women. Okay. In this day and age, there is no class. Everybody's mixing. Everybody is, becoming more equal. What this simply shows that a person likes to be in a relationship with a woman who's very sexual. Somebody who's promiscuous. Somebody, who like will just pretty much, do all kinds of like role playing and dressing up and whatnot. Your spouse or your girlfriend will wear all kinds of crazy lingerie and BDSM type stuff like that. Now, back in the days, 5,000 years ago, even if you showed your legs, it'll be like, oh my God, what are you doing? I mean, so that's what it changes now to. There's no lower class woman or man. It's more like they're more willing to just get down and dirty. You see, back then, only a untouchable will clean the house. Now, You'll have Brahmins cleaning the house. You'll have Shudra cleaning the house. I've cleaned toilets I have cleaned classrooms. I have swept. I did sweeping in front of people back in 2002, 2003, 2001 to 2003. I was a janitor. I cleaned toilets. I cleaned everything. You know? So I don't know what caste I am. I'm a caste. I don't know if that's Brahman or that's whatever merchant caste. I don't care. But look, I did it. Doesn't mean anything. It's like a plain equal playing field, and that's how it should be. You know, a lot of sages though, even now, like some spiritual person still may not eat, like especially in India, they may not eat food cooked by somebody who's of a lower caste. Because for them, they feel like their energies in the hand will transfer into their food, because if you're a lower caste, then you did some bad karma and your karma will I mean, they have their own philosophy, which I don't really care, because as long as you say the name of God before you eat anything, you can have a serial killer cook you food and that food will be pure. Say the name of God. Simplest thing. Yeah, but whatever, that's their problem. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 5th house in the sign of Taurus for Capricorn ascendant person. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you don't know where your sun is placed, all your other astrological details, my books, reports, consultation, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.